it's your girl Tara coming to you from thecraftsurgeon.com, and welcome to another episode of my awesome series called Fast and Fabulous. Oh my goodness, I'm having so much fun with the series, giving you guys inspiration and showing you guys how I flip cards instead of houses. Isn't that awesome? So this series is where I show you guys how you can take a really simple card and a simple layout and you flip it into something more fabulous or more amazing. So you step the card up with a few added layers, a few embellishments, and sometimes there are some additional techniques that can be used. So here are the projects that we're going to be creating today. Aren't they beautiful? And it's using a really beautiful stamp set out of the new celebration brochure, and it is called Lovely Lily Pad. So here is the first card. This is the more simple version of the card, and I love the technique that I'm going to share with you guys how to do, and it's called masking. So this is the first one, that's the simple one, and then this is the more fabulous one. As you can see, I popped this little guy up and it just looks a lot more fancier than this one, but it's still simple and still elegant, okay? All right, so if you're excited, stay tuned because I am going to show you guys step by step on how you can create these two gorgeous cards. And I'm going to share with you guys details on this awesome stamp set and how you can get it for free. So stick around. All right, so we're going to start off by creating our beautiful card using the Lovely Lily Pad stamp set. And like I said, you can get this stamp set for free because it is a celebration item, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this at the end of the video as well, just as a recap. But if you don't know what celebration is the best time to shop Stampin' Up! Because from January to March 31st, they have a promotion period where you can place a qualifying order and get free items out of this awesome brochure. Now, the qualifying order is a minimum of $50 before shipping and tax, and that's really awesome. So for every $50 that you spend, you get to pick a free little item out of this mini brochure. And there's also another release coming out in March, so I'm really excited about that. There's a second release of even more product that you can get for free, and I can't wait to get my hands on some of those goodies as well. But there's more to come on that. But anyways, that's where you can find it. If you need a copy of the celebration catalog, or you just want to check out what's in there, I'll have the link down in the description box below, and you can view the digital copies of the catalogs. But if you want one, a physical copy, just make sure that you email me at the Hotmail at thecraftsurgeon@hotmail.com, and I'll be able to get one out to you as soon as possible, okay? But anyways, back to our beautiful, beautiful cards. So the first card we are going to create is the really simple one. And if you need measurements, I do have a project PDF on my website that you can get all the information and details and the supply list and all that kind of stuff. That'll be linked down below in the description box as well. But for this card, I am using a piece of Thick Whisper White. This is what I use normally for my card bases. And then I have a regular piece of Whisper White for my layer, okay? Now I'm gonna share with you guys how I created this awesome look. Because if you notice in the stamp set, the lily and the lily pad are not together. So I guess you're wondering, how on earth was I able to seat this perfectly without getting part of the lily pad over the top of the lily, right? So this process is called masking. So I think this is going to be the most technical technique that I'm going to show you with this card. It's still easy, but I wanted to share with you guys this technique. So let's move our papers out of the way. So I'm going to use my handy dandy stamp apparatus for this portion, okay? Because I find it easier to stamp in place, or excuse me, to stamp in place or to place my stamp where I want it on my piece of Whisper White cardstock, okay? So I'm going to take this layer like this, and I'm going to just place my stamp where I want it on here. Okay, so the idea when you mask is to stamp whichever stamp you want to be in the forefront or in the front. That is the one that you stamp first. Then you cover that stamp with a piece of paper, sticky note. I actually have masking paper, and you'll cover it and then you'll stamp over it while it's covered, and then you can remove your masking, and then you have your built scene. Okay, so I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean by that. So I want my my lily to be placed like right about there. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this little guy up just like that, and I am going to take my, I'm trying to look for it, my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because we're going to be doing some stamp and blend coloring. Y'all know I love coloring. And I'm going to stamp this little guy down just like this. Boom. Perfect. Okay. So now that we are done with that part, now it's time for us to mask. And like I said, I actually have some masking paper. We actually don't sell this in Stampin' Up, which is kind of sad. But I'm going to show you guys what I'm using. So this is the product that I'm using. I'm using Gina K Thermal Web Masking Magic. And basically what I did was I took a couple of pieces of her paper. Ooh, and they're all stuck together because I've been playing around with the stamp set quite a bit. And what you're going to do is you're going to stamp your images onto the paper, and then you're going to fuzzy cut them out. Sorry guys, you're going to have to fuzzy cut, right? But when you cut them out, you want to cut them, I don't even know which way this goes, but you're going to cut them out as close to the black line as possible, so that way you can avoid halos around your image. That's what I call them. It's like a little white outline. I don't want the white outline, okay? So that's why I created, I tell you guys to cut close to that black line, so that way you can avoid the halos. So I stamped the lily and I stamped the lily pad. So there you go. And we're actually going to need our lily pad out of our pack. Okay. So now, let me grab a clear block. Usually I'm a little more prepared, but it's all right. We got this. So now at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to, once you stamp it and you cut it out with your paper snips, you're going to take it because it's sticky and it doesn't rip your paper, which is awesome. You're going to place your mask over the image. And since I want the lily to be in the foreground of this image, that is what I stamped first. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and I am going to stamp my lily pad on top of this. So I'm going to ink my lily pad up just like that, and I am going to try not to get my head in the way, but I'm going to stamp this little guy down where I want it. Try to make it as even as possible. That's why I love photopolymer. You can see through it. Okay, so there we go. Now it looks like a hot mess, but I promise you it's going to work out fine. Everything's going to be all right. So we're going to set our inks and our stamp to the side. Now I am going to place another mask over my lily pad, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to show you guys a technique called blending. Okay, and what I mean by that is, you see the blue ring around my lily? It kind of looks like it's floating in water. Well, in order for me to get that look without compromising my image, I had to mask it off so that way I could blend around that image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my stamp apparatus, and I keep the little backings of the masking paper so that way I can stick them and reuse them. I've used these things quite a few times and they are still sticking pretty well. So we're going to create our watered background. So I'm using 3 colors. I'm using Bermuda Bay, Pool Party, and Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to take, this is like a makeup brush I got off of Amazon. I think it was a pack of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's a pack of 4 of them. And these things blend really well. I actually really love these things. And so I'm going to use that to blend, okay? So don't mind my craziness right here. But I'm using my scrap paper. So you're gonna need a piece of scrap paper. And the first color that I'm gonna start with is my Pool Party. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take my little brush and I'm going to just do create a circular motion on my pad to pick up some of that ink. And then what I like to do is I like to come off to the side a little bit and kind of dust off just a little bit of that ink, just to kind of get it, because I don't want it too dark starting out, because I want to build my color. And then I'm going to go over my image in a circular motion. Y'all see how smooth that is? I can't get this effect with sponges for some reason. I'm sponge challenged. And my daubers, they work pretty good too, but my finger gets tired. So I'm going to just go in circular motions, and you see how it's building that color? Y'all see this? It's kind of light right now. That's why I have three different colors. Okay, so we're gonna do that one, and then we're gonna do Coastal Cabana is the next one. And I'm not tainting my ink pads, by the way, because it seems that this makeup brush, after the ink comes off of it, even though it's kind of turned a little bit, it doesn't transfer to my ink pads, which is really nice. It's like the ink comes completely off of it when you're done blending. All right, so there we go. So that was Coastal Cabana. And now I'm gonna go in with my Bermuda Bay. Now Bermuda Bay is really dark, okay? So you really wanna make sure that you tap off some of that excess. Y'all see how dark that is? You wanna spread off some of that excess ink. And I'm just doing circular motions. Isn't that beautiful? All right, now y'all ready for the magic? Here we go. So now it's time for me to remove my masks. So I'm gonna pick this little guy up. Oh no, it looks crazy, right? But don't worry, don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right. Boom, there you go. Now you see how I have that halo there? That's because I didn't line my mask up, but that is fine, because you probably wouldn't have even been able to tell until I said something. And then you just stick them back onto your little backings, and then I put them in my stamp case so that way I can use them at a later time. So there you go. So that is how you do the masking technique. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to color our image here with our Stampin' Blends. Now I want to show you guys something, because I went over to one of my friends' houses and we were creating, she had an open studio type thing. Oop, I got stuff all over the place. She had an open studio for one of her classes, and I just came in and I decided that I wanted to kind of play around with colors with this this stamp set, and this is what I came up with. So these are some of the color combos. Aren't they nice? So this is like Pool Party and Bermuda Bay. We have dark mango and light mango melody and daffodil delight. We have blackberry bliss and Highland heather. This is pumpkin pie and calypso coral. And then I have Old Olive and Soft Sea Foam. And this is Flirty Flamingo and Calypso Coral, which is really awesome. So there's so many different types of combinations that you can create. This is one I did on watercolor paper just to see how it would react. But there's so many different color combos that you can use. And I'm not sure if I showed you guys this, but this is the card that I created during my Facebook Live. So I decided to do my favorite color, Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, and no, it was Highland Heather and Blackberry Bliss. So that's what I used on this particular card. Isn't that gorgeous? So, and this one right here that we did is Cherry Cobbler and Real Red. So I think that I want to do a pink one. I'm going to do a pink one. So we're going to do Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to grab my Calypso Coral. But I'm going to grab the light Calypso Coral. Because the thing is, when you're blending, I think I've done a video on some blending basics with one of the cards that I created in this series. And I always explain that I like to start with my dark colors first. So since they come in a light and dark combo, what I have found is that if you want to enhance it even more, you can use a third color, but I like to get a color that's close to the combo that I'm using, but dark enough to stand out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my light, if it'll come open, Calypso Coral, okay? And I'm going to go in and I'm going to color this around the base of my lily. So just like this. Y'all see this? So everywhere this lily I was gonna say leaves, the petals, they're kind of poking out. I'm creating a shadowed effect around it. And these little lines that you see inside of the petals, I'm using those as a guide as well, because I want those to look kind of dark when I color back over them again. So that's what we're doing right now. I really love Stampin' Blends, y'all. I just finished placing an order for the rest of the ones in the collection. So I'm excited to get my hands on those finally, because I buy a little bit at a time. And then I have the whole set. It's going to be complete. All right, so we're going to go in and we're going to color in that line. So you see how dark it is and vibrant it is, but it's not pink, but it's going to stand out. It's going to really pop out. All right, so now I'm going to go in with my dark Flirty Flamingo marker, and I'm going to color in a second layer. So I'm going to build on top of the layer that's already there with Calypso Coral. And what I like to do for the second layer is to bring it up kind of close to the edges of those lines that are already stamped there. Oop, I think I missed some. How I do that? Guys, how did I miss that? It's fine. Yeah, I missed a little section there. As you can see, I'm not coloring all the way to the tips of the flower. I'm kind of just building. Let me see. Let me stand up a little bit so you guys can see. Y'all see how I'm building onto that color? When you know what you're doing after you practice a couple of times. Now I'm taking my light Flirty Flamingo and I'm just going to color in the tips of these flower petals. Ooh, it's almost time for me to replace this one. It's starting to squeak on me. You can probably see that I have like the definition in the lines, right? So I want to hide that. I want to mask that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush tip of my light Flirty and I'm just going to go over the edge. And now what's left to do is to color in our lily pad. Flickered. And now I'm going to go in with my Wink of Stella, because y'all know I love shine. All right, so there you go. Now I'm going to stamp a sentiment. You can use any sentiment that you have. I'm going to say get well, because that's what inspired me to do this card in the first place. One of our family friends was sick. She just recently had surgery, so I had created the original card, which was this one, for her. Oh no, I got marker on it. It's all right. But yeah, so I had created this card for her. So there you go. And now all you have to do is take your card base. You're going to burnish it with your bone folder. And then you're going to glue your layer down. I'm trying to be careful not to get any more marker spots on my cards, because my hands are probably inky right now. All right. My beautiful card is tarnished. All right. It happens though. It happens. There we go. And there's our first card. Isn't that pretty? All right. So now I'm going to show you guys how to step the next one up. I am going to fast forward that part because the process is still exactly the same. You still, in this event though, you still mask, but the difference between the simple card and the more stepped up version of the card is that this one, I only masked the lily pad when I stamped it down. And that's because I wanted to pop up the flower, okay? So just sit back, relax, go grab you some Pepsi or something, and just watch how this beautiful card here transforms, okay? Just like that. All right, then we're going to take our sentiment that we stamped earlier, the Get Well sentiment. We're going to cut it down, and we're also going to place a couple of dimensionals on the back side of this so we can pop this little guy right on up. And you can put this anywhere you want to on the card. You can put it up here, you can put it down here, you can put it in the center. I think for this one, I'm going to put it in the center, just like that. And then I'm going to take some of my rhinestones, and I'm going to use my handy dandy take my pick tool. I love this thing. It's like the Swiss Army knife of crafting. Love it. And we are going to place 3 of these little guys around the outside edge of our Whisper White base. And now we're going to take our card base, make sure it's burnished really, really well. Still kind of flopping up there a little bit, a little floppy. And we're going to glue our piece of basic black onto the back of, or onto the top of our card base. Now this is one of the cards that I'm going to be creating in my technique class. So if you guys are interested in getting a to-go version of that, I'll have that information linked down below. But I do have a upcoming class coming up using the lovely lily pads, and we'll also be doing a little bit of watercoloring. And this is a sneak peek of the flower that we're going to be creating. Isn't that gorgeous? So there are 4 projects in that class. There will be a tutorial available. So there you go. Here's our stepped up version of this card. All right, and here are our final cards. Take a gander at these little guys. They're so beautiful. So in the comments below, I would like to know, which is your favorite color combo? Do you like the Real Red and the Cherry Cobbler, the Flirty Flamingo and the Calypso Coral, or I already know what your favorite's gonna be. It's gonna be purple, of course, just like mine. But the Blackberry Bliss and the Highland Heather, because I love these cards. Actually, I love them all. They're all my favorites. But I would like to know down in the comments below. All right, so if you like today's projects, I will have a handwritten step-by-step tutorial on my website, thecraftsergeant.com, with measurements and a supply list that will be linked down in the description box below. So you can head over there and get a copy of that if you want to download and have just a handwritten physical copy of the tutorial today. And also, to recap, I do want to let you guys know we did use the lovely lily pad stamp set, which you can get for free with a $50 order in my online store. And of course, there are qualifying dies that go with it. So awesome and beautiful set. And it is part of the celebration promotion, and there's only one more month, guys. So if there's something in this brochure that you see, you need to go ahead and scoop it up now, because don't be like Tara and the frog framelits. I'm just gonna leave it at that, okay? But there's some awesome products in here, and there's some more awesome products coming. So if you have any questions about celebration, let me know and I'll be able to answer them for you, okay? But this is the stamp set that we used. Also with that, I did kind of plug a little bit my class. So if you don't already own this stamp set, and you do decide to get it, I will have in March a technique class offered locally and online that you can download, okay, with videos and PDFs that will show you different techniques that you can use with this stamp set. So I'm really excited about launching that class next month, so be on the lookout for that. I'll have my classes and events linked down below in the description box as well if you're interested in that. But other than that, if you guys like videos like this one and you want to continue to see more and hear more of my beautiful voice, be sure to hit that notification bell and to subscribe to my channel, guys. I love you guys. I love bringing the inspiration to you. And thank you guys for your support. And if you want updates on any of my upcoming classes, events, project inspiration, be sure to sign up for my newsletter, which, did I say newsletter? My newsletter, which is also down in the description box as well. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys for now. So see you next time. Thanks for watching. And you guys know what to say here. Happy stamping.